Now, I do want to quickly say that I have great respect for the other plant medicines. I mean, I'm not saying the Ibogaine should replace what they provide, but Ibogaine provides something that the other medicines definitely do not.
I'm really curious, what brought you for this medicine?
Well, it's really a very long story because the person that discovered the addiction interruption qualities of Ibogaine, Howard Lotsof, was a friend of mine since 1968. And so I was involved, at least tangentially, from the very earliest days of Ibogaine, particularly for opiate addiction. In the earlier years, most of our work was for heroin addiction. I didn't do Ibogaine myself until about 26 years ago, and had a extraordinary experience avoiding going into the various things that arose. I think the principal thing that I derived from it was a sense of forgiveness, and it was lifting a huge weight off of my shoulders. And it's something that we have seen happen now literally many hundreds of times where other people have that same forgiveness experience.
Wow.
So I moved to Mexico 20 years ago. I had a number of friends who are into the world of plant medicines, spirit medicines, including peyote and oliluki and psilocybin. And when they learned that I was able to obtain Ibogaine and have the backing of, well, Howard himself, as well as a couple of other well informed individuals, I provided 6 individuals one at a time. The upshot was so positive. My then lady friend and partner, Veronica, I gave her a opportunity to do the Ibogaine. She has also been very experienced with plant medicines, and she said, "Hey, we have got to make this available to other people." So I told some people in the United States who had been working in the underground that we would be able to accommodate people, particularly for emotional situations. People started getting referred to me, and I was on the telephone huge amounts of time because in those days there wasn't that much available on the internet, and decided to put together a website which we named IbogaQuest. And that was the beginning of our 17 years of providing this service for many people for various conditions.
How many people already went through this experience, and do you see any common things and common differences between them?
Well, I don't have the exact number. It's probably around 1,000 people that
Okay,
we've
it's a
treated.
lot.
I'd say the common thread is that somebody has reached a point in their life where they know they may need to make a radical change.
Exactly.
Sometimes that refers to substance, sometimes it has to do with habitual patterns and thought patterns, and being able to release a lot of the energy that we might call traumatic that caused them to be in a position where they don't feel that they're treating themselves in the most beneficial manner. A chemical response to that, I'm not the person to
Okay.
do it. In fact, there are probably very few people in the world who would even attempt it. They're still trying to learn an awful lot about that. But symptomatically, it's very, very clear that Ibogaine takes you to a very deep place and allows a lot of the energy that might have been even precognitive to be brought to the surface, not on an intellectual level, but on a emotional level, by having it brought back into that element of cognitive space allows it to be released. There is just overwhelming evidence that a combination of that neuroplasticity that's provided by the Ibogaine allows a healing to take place in the brain. So we've got an emotional thing, we've got a physical thing, an intellectual thing, all of them coming together with Ibogaine. Now, I do want to quickly say that I have great respect for the other plant medicines. I mean, I'm not saying the Ibogaine should replace what they provide, but Ibogaine provides something that the other medicines definitely do not. So I suspect it's going to be in our universe for the rest of our lives and foreseeable future.
What about spiritual aspect? And maybe you can share your path and experience with that.
I came into this world of dealing with plant medicines at the same time that it's now, I think, like 60, 65 years that I've been a student of Tibetan Buddhism and have done an awful lot of work in retreats and with spiritual practices. And when I did Ibogaine, there was a barrage of material that was taking over my whole being. And I was very uncomfortable. And I found a place in myself that could be quiet while all of this tumultuous material was unfolding. And now this is many, many years ago, but I can still identify that place that I can get to even when things are getting, the way life treats you and the circumstances that arise. But to be able to find a place of quiet within yourself, not getting trampled on by your emotional reactions, is something that I have experienced. And the many people that we've treated who are also practitioners to some degree of mindfulness training have had similar experiences, that it really has reinforced the place of spaciousness in which we actually are alive.
Thank you so much for this talk. And I'm just wondering if there is anything you would like to add. Is there anything important or helpful they should know before considering Ibogaine experience?
Well, one of the things that a cautionary note is, it's not the kind of thing that you want to do for somebody else. It's got to be coming from your place where you are recognizing that something needs to be understood more deeply, and there's a place where you need to benefit from change. We learned very early on that when somebody else is encouraging you, it could be a wife or a sister or whatever it may be, that is where it is least likely to be of benefit. And we go out of our way not to encourage people to come here if that is their motivation. They need to be self-motivated and open to understanding that change is always happening and that they can engage in change on a physical level, a spiritual level, and an emotional level.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope that's okay.
Yes. Yes, yes. I think it's beautiful.
Great. Thank you very much, Ada.
Thank you.
Give me a hug.
With pleasure.